All right, what's up, guys? So we are having one of our most favorite. Can we say best friends?
Yes,
Besties.
besties. Love it.
So
Besties.
favorite besties, Sir Crescent, here with us
Yes,
today,
yes.
and we
Loves
are
it.
honored more than you.
So
more than you
honored,
know.
so honored.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. This
Yeah.
is like, oh my god, if you
Yes.
guys could be here, this is the dopest podcast setup I've ever seen.
Thank you. And what did you say right before we started? This is a tell-all?
Yes, this is my tell-all. Like Oprah Winfrey couldn't even get this.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
Yes.
So we're gonna start asking some really odd questions,
Oh
some
my
weird
God.
questions.
Yes.
We're gonna get deep, but you know what?
Right.
We wanted to have you on our show because we see you doing huge things. You are everywhere. You are
Yes.
influencing. You're creating these amazing manifestation groups. You're
Mhm.
so involved and so connected, and you're
Yes.
also in music. And it's just it
Yes.
boggles our mind that you are just so all over the place, and you're
Oh my
not
God.
like settling down. I mean, look at you. You're fabulous. You're great.
Thanks.
So loves
Jesus.
it.
So we wanted to have you on your show just to kind of see what you're up to, what you're up to today.
Yes, likewise. I know that when I first met you guys have such a magnetic presence, and
Oh, thank you.
I
Just like
love-
you. Just
I
like
love
you.
people that are like always just inspiring, putting their energy out there, and you guys
Oh
definitely
my
embody
God.
that.
Thank
so.
you.
so
Thank you.
much.
And we recently joined your master class.
Yes.
And you have helped us soar to the top with our energy. So,
Oh my God.
if you guys think that we have amazing energy, oh my God, just working with you in your master class has just driven us to the top.
in this next 3 months, y'all are going to be superstars.
Oh my God.
Even
Thank
more
you,
so,
thank you.
So I'm so excited.
And let's stay on that topic.
Yeah,
So, your
definitely.
master class,
Yeah.
you started this a few months back,
Yeah.
and it's so inspirational. Can you tell us about how you started this? What inspired you to start your master class, which is all about manifestation, guys? If you know
Good
Eli and
energy.
Mike and also Mr. Chris, we're all about manifestation.
Here we
So
go.
tell us, how did you manifest this?
Oh my God!
You know?
Yes, this is so cool. And this
Yes.
is like your
Oh my
guys'
God.
talk show, which
Thank
is
you.
like before it's the Oprah Winfrey show level.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I really am passionate about speaking identity into people and
Mm.
empowering people. And I think the deepest level of empowerment we can connect to is to almost that soul empowerment that all of us
Yes.
embody, like
Right.
the essence of who we are, which is love. And so,
Yes.
being able to meet with entrepreneurs across the globe,
Mhm.
all dedicated
Mhm.
towards
Wow.
creating more consciously to
Yes.
bring more love to this
Right.
world and to this planet,
Mhm.
and use all the amazing things that we're involved in, whether it's entertainment, media, real
Yes.
estate, all of our
Yes.
different extensions, and to use entrepreneurship as a vessel for change. Like
Amazing.
so
Yeah.
I, for me,
Mhm.
I was joking with you guys when we went to tea. Like, I'm
Yes.
entering my Oprah era.
Yes, right,
And
right.
I feel
Yeah.
like just
Yes.
I've been on my own personal journey where, as a music artist, I've always wanted to kind of be seen, not heard, and
Yes.
not really use my voice.
Mhm.
Even though I've had an upbringing public speaking, and I graduated from USC, where I also guest
Amazing.
facilitated, and I
Okay.
used to teach
Wow.
in an MBA class.
Wow.
So I
love it.
have like
Yes.
a lot of different extensions of speaking, but when it came to being visible online, that was something I hadn't yet allowed myself to do. And so
Got it.
this was the year that, like,
Mhm.
by being an empowerment coach online has
Mhm.
helped me to really kind of move my message out into the world.
Amazing.
Amazing,
And if I
yes.
could ask you, how old are you?
I'm 33.
So 33 years
I'm
old.
in my
Love
Jesus
it.
year.
Yeah. Oh, you look
Love
fabulous.
it.
You must take care of your skin.
Oh my
there must
God,
be a
yes.
routine.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And to me, like, you're empowering people. You empowered us. Like, even
Yes.
today, I posted on Instagram, and I tweeted humility and vulnerability, because that's something that you teach in your class, like
Yes.
be real
Yeah.
and bring in all that love, and that's actually something that me and Mike really we listen to, and we bring in that energy because we value the fact of knowing how to reflect with people the truth of what's inside.
Yes.
And giving that good energy, not the bad energy. Obviously,
Yes.
we don't need any of that. And you, by what you've already done, these powerful messages you're giving out to people in these groups are helping us even control our own problems,
Yes.
figure out what's the best solution for outcomes, instead of going into something that would be a bad result. So you being
Right.
33, and what I want to tell our viewers is, it doesn't matter how old you are. He is a very young individual, and there's so many different things that you could do for people. and you're doing it. And I actually have a question for you. Like,
Yes.
what's your why? Why do you love to reflect on these good vibes to people?
Yes, because you're giving so much to so
Yeah.
many other people. Like,
Yeah.
why?
walk in-
You know,
walk
why?
into the room like if you're a battery-powered machine, like I'm ready to do this.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God. My why. Thank you guys for asking that. I mean, my mission now is to help empower people with the tools of manifestation or higher consciousness, so that they can be their best selves. You know, I feel like if we had a planet where more of us are so alive and are really showing the higher nature of who we are called to be,
Yes.
this planet would look so much different.
Oh my
And
God,
so
it would.
I love people like you, and I hope to be a leader in whatever industry I ascribe to, so that we can create tangible change and really activate people.
Yes.
But activate people not in a way where we're projecting more negativity, but more positivity in the
Positive.
world. You know.
Yes, I think we've been on
Yeah.
with your masterclass for 2 weeks now, and just
Yeah.
being with you guys for 2 weeks. One thing that you guys train on this masterclass is love. And it's so beautiful because love is different in all different parts of the world. You guys have people on your masterclass from all parts of the world, from London, from Hollywood, Dubai,
yeah.
and Australia,
Yeah.
and the crazy
Mexico,
Hey,
everywhere.
shout out,
Shout out.
and it's love is different in every region of the world, and
Yeah.
you're literally bringing continents together, and you're showing all these different places that love could be one thing, one love. And me and Eli even go back home, and we're even just being more loving, and we're telling people we love them, and that could be like something that people are scared of.
Yes.
People are scared of telling somebody else they love them,
It's
but in
so
reality,
true. Yeah.
you can love people and it's okay, and you showed us that. And again, in different parts of the region of the world, some people, they won't hug because they don't know how to show affection. Some
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
but then again, on another part of the world, some people give each other a kiss on the cheek,
Even double kisses.
Yeah.
double kisses. We're like, hey,
Goodness.
and so again, that's what you're training us, everybody in this masterclass, how to love, and it just feels so amazing because we wake up, at least in the last 2 weeks since being part of your masterclass, with just so much love in our heart. I even hear Mr. Eli telling people he loves people more than he usually does.
God, that's so cool.
It used
And
to
it
be
just
so
feels so
uncommon for me
good.
because
Yeah.
I'm 44 and I come from a background where you should back up a little bit. Like it's very rustic, very old, and Mike's in your age bracket. You guys are in your young 30s, so you guys have this
In
generation.
our Oprah era.
Yeah.
Just say it, just say
I'm probably a little older, but the fact is, you guys have this ability of knowing how to capture good energy, and you guys know how to show it to people in a way that even I took some time to understand it. And when me and Mike were talking about this manifestation class, even I was like, oh, that's going to serve us really good. But he was like, we're going to sign up.
Yeah.
Because
I was like,
he knows the
manifest,
vibes,
yes.
right? It already worked for him.
Yeah.
But the fact is, these 2 weeks that we've done it, and we're excited to completely finish the course.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that now we're starting to instill this into our people, into our culture, and people are feeling that. Like, we've done some trainings already, and you are creating these shockwaves you don't even know.
I know. To me, guys, the ripple when just seeing you guys in the purple outfits,
Yeah.
and just like the magnetic energy, and like you guys said, like you have a platform, and in that way, in your own community, and just how that then catalyzes others. Like I always talk about us being like the first birthday lit candle.
Yes.
So when you like light a birthday cake, you light the first candle, and then you use that candle to light the others.
Wow.
And I feel like that's what we're talking about, is like to be brave enough to be that first lit candle, is to step out in faith, to walk with love, to ascend to a higher level of consciousness, which is essentially love.
Yes.
That's an identity. It's less an emotion, but more so I'm going to, and it's not about being perfect, but I'm going to make that concerted effort to embody that in all areas, you know?
That's so powerful.
And especially in
Yes.
business. Like, I think that's, me working as an entrepreneur, and just right now I'm building an investment fund. Like, the whole ethos is really to bring a higher level of consciousness to business, because that energy of love needs to be reflected, as business is what's actually as people might know, like running the world. So.
Right, exactly. You have to have business. You have to have business.
Yeah.
And oh my God, that's so beautiful. Like being the first lit candle. I've never heard this before, and I'm so shook right now. Like I want to be the
candles.
first, right?
Yeah.
Bring some candles.
Just one.
Yeah.
And like I want to be the first lit candle every time
Yes.
because like I want to be that person that's lit, and then I can go light other people. That's
Mike
so
is
powerful.
Yeah.
We're all lit. We're all
Mike is
lit.
just lit, period.
We're
Oh my God.
That's the after hours, guys.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna get
after.
lit.
That's with the champagne later with margies.
I saw the bar.
Right, there's a bar.
See.
We do have a bar. And again, like all this comes from just, obviously you have to be like a genuine good person, and I know that's exactly who you are. We have met a few times now, and it's just been nothing but this beautiful energy you have. And, having that energy, certain people do look to work with you, right? And
Right.
hopefully I could do these name
Yes,
drops, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And,
Do the name drops.
I know when you first started off, which is so amazing because this is when you first started off, some of your first people that you started working with were the Kardashians or the
Yeah.
Jenners. So I
Yeah.
believe it was Kylie Jenner and and so working with the Jenners, like
Yeah.
how did you land this job as one of your first jobs? Again,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it has to do with good
Manifesting.
energy,
You
obviously
manifesting,
have
No,
it,
I
like,
mean,
being a good person, like
Yeah.
all that comes with it. But again, like I need to hear it from you. Like I know
Yeah.
all that, but how did you land a Kylie Jenner?
Yeah, so I graduated from USC 14 years ago.
Okay.
I studied PR, got my
Amazing.
master's in marketing,
Mhm.
and I just knew that I would somewhere land in the entertainment field.
Love it.
Out of college, I worked for a fashion tech startup, which was really amazing. And then my second job, I was working for this entertainment media conglomerate. It's called Spin Media.
Okay.
And so they had like over 40 like entertainment websites, like Pitchfork and Celeb Buzz and like
yes.
Spin Magazine,
Yes,
just right when
yes.
the blog era was
Yes.
super huge.
Right.
And I became a talent producer because they also had a celebrity division. And so I
Nice.
worked with my first clients were Kelly Osbourne.
Oh my
love
God.
her,
Wow.
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my God. One of my
And-
Gotta
favorites.
have Lindsay.
Kim Kardashian.
Oh my God, Kim
it was also
Kardashian.
like the sisters. We
Wow.
were a 3-person team that oversaw all of the digital portals for the Kardashians. So
Amazing.
Wow.
it was such a amazing experience to even
Yes.
see. I mean, back then, I think that was 2013. Just
Okay.
how much of an infrastructure they
Yes,
had, and
yes.
just like
Right.
the professionalism and the
Right.
hard work ethic.
Yes.
It's like all behind the
Mhm,
scenes. They've
mhm.
always had that.
Yes.
And and then so later in my career, I actually helped Kendall and Kylie launch
Wow.
into the apparel industry. So they have a global apparel brand, lingerie, handbags, swimsuits, things of that nature. And so I got
Yes.
to work on like the fashion PR side. We
Wow.
had like 2 really big activations at New York Fashion Week that the girls did.
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah, it was awesome. And I
Yes.
think that going back to it, I guess when those opportunities came, it wasn't something that felt. We talk about this in the mastermind, just about
Yes.
normalizing
Yeah.
Right.
what is possible for
Mhm,
you,
of
And I
course.
think I was always very interested and passionate about celebrity culture, and like
Mhm.
they were always role models of mine. So like when I started to work for them, like it now became something where I was like, oh yeah, this is normal.
Yes.
And then part of what I now understand is like how, as somebody who's adjacent to these stars, is like how I bring value and like all of the
Amazing.
things that I've learned in my education and my experience is valuable for these artists, because
Yes.
their teams are what really makes, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
and makes or
Yes.
breaks them.
That,
you
that
know?
makes
my
a lot
God,
of sense because
yes.
in our culture here for this company as well, even in I would think it's the same for any business. The culture inside the office is so important, like the teams,
Yes.
the management.
Yes,
Because you
yes.
have your management there, and without all that culture of reiterating the message and
Yes.
throwing out there the positive energy, people are not going to follow pursuit.
Yeah.
And
Right.
at the end, you might lose your client. Your
Yeah.
client might be, well, you're not doing your job. You're not doing the right thing,
Right.
which is basically that tactical skill of completing that agenda, which whatever that might be.
Yeah.
And that's amazing for you to say that, because a lot of people think it's easy, right? It's not easy at all. It's a process. We're sitting up here looking like we're there. I mean, look at us. We're wearing these crazy
Yes,
shiny
bedazzled,
shoes.
shiny
we're all
shoes.
wearing the
Bedazzled shoes.
Yes.
But
Loves
they didn't get put onto our feet just
Yeah.
by coincidence. They didn't just pop up. It was
Yeah.
a
We had to
process.
manifest it and work hard for
Yeah.
it, but you know.
But it was definitely
yes.
a process. It was hard
Mhm.
work, and it's definitely not easy. And even to this day, you're out there still hustling, doing so many different things.
Right.
I actually wanted to ask you, what exactly inspired you to do what you do now? Because you said you went to UCLA, and you did all these
USC.
different- USC.
Sorry,
okay.
Trojans.
Yeah, let's get it right. Let's get it right.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
Right,
Good.
So you went to USC.
Yeah.
So when you were, we'll go a little bit backwards. So
Yeah.
when you were a child, you grew up. Is this what you envisioned yourself to be?
So I was always at 9 years old, wanted to be a pop star.
Oh my God, yes.
So I'm still
Okay.
living my pop star dreams.
Yes.
But I always saw music artists as like superheroes.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
amazing.
they embodied a level of confidence that being a closeted kid, you
Yes,
know,
yes,
in
yes.
San Jose, California, like I just always gravitated to, or even the people like Paris Hilton, where they
Yes.
just like embody this level of confidence
Right.
and authenticity. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, I always saw myself in Los Angeles. That was
Amazing.
definitely something that
Amazing.
I knew was going to be in my star line for sure.
That's amazing. You know,
Yes.
not a lot of people end up where they want to be at the end. Because I wanted to be an engineer and an accountant.
Mm.
But what did you want to be? Like?
I was gonna be a dentist.
Oh my God!
Right?
Really different.
You guys all have beautiful smiles.
Oh my God, like you, like you. No, we love
Maybe
it.
Mike does. I'm
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God,
still working
no.
on mine.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so that's a perfect example of how many of you guys here that are watching, you guys can change your whole entire life around.
Yes.
I mean, look at us. We all started differently, except you already knew what you wanted. But I didn't know what I wanted. Some people don't even know what they want still, and there's always opportunities for change.
Yes.
You just got to bring in all that good energy, like exactly what you said. And that's huge because our viewers don't even know. Like, there's people right now that are still suffering from those post-traumatic COVID problems.
Yeah.
That, oh, well, I can't go back to work. It's a bad time. It's a
Yes.
recession. And it's a really bad example. And it's actually really bad for your health to even accept the fact that, oh, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Right.
And nobody is really stuck. People make themselves
Yeah.
put themselves in that
Yes.
position of feeling vulnerable, but in a bad way. Like, oh, well, I'm in a bad spot. I can't do anything right
Like
now.
they let themselves get stuck. You're right.
Yeah.
And you know, especially in the pandemic, what just occurred. But for you, Mr. Chris, you were just going all in. You didn't stop. And you know, I know we're on the subject of
Yeah.
LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I needed to get that right. I
Yeah.
needed to get
Got
and
it.
you know, and you are so, you know, driven for your community. So I know recently you released one of your new pop songs. So
Yes,
congratulations.
thank
So
you.
happy.
Appreciate
And
it.
you know, like not only did you follow your dreams and you know, you're out there, you're going all in on your music, but at the same time you're representing our community, which
Yeah.
is so beautiful. What is the outpour that you're getting from our community, from one, you know, being yourself, which is so beautiful. Your
Right.
music videos are so fun. Please go
Yeah,
watch
I love
them.
them.
Oh,
So
yeah.
fun.
Thank you.
But like, you know, are you getting like this huge outpour from our community? Because I know we need this so much right
We
now.
do.
We need somebody
Yeah.
like you right now. And I just want to know, because you're
Yeah.
performing on it, like,
Yeah.
what are you getting, you know?
You know, I love just being a music artist, just being an artist in general, because for me, it's about proliferating more of our love stories to the
Yes.
world. And,
Yes.
you know, I feel like growing up as a kid, there was that question in my mind of like, do I deserve love? Am I worthy of love? Because that wasn't really reflected in media and music. Obviously, we've come a long way, but we still have such a long way to go.
So long.
And
yes.
so I say as my mission as an artist is to tell my own love stories.
Oh,
And
wow.
so it's very,
Okay.
it's so simple. And,
Uh-huh.
but because of that, like, I feel like I've had a lot of success so far
Mhm.
in my trajectory as an artist. And
Yes.
it's taken a lot of like
Mhm.
unique turns, but in 2018, I actually got a record deal. So
oh my God,
yeah.
yes. Congrats.
Thank you. And so I did release that record
Yes.
last year. I
Mhm,
have
mhm.
a special edition coming out this year.
Oh
which
my
is exciting.
God.
But
Can't wait. Yes.
Special
Special edition.
Yes.
Let's go.
This is, I'm
Yes.
announcing that here.
Right. Okay.
but,
Let's go. First to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I love, one of the things that I love about being in Los
Yes.
Angeles is that
Mhm.
we are such this, you know, heart-centered, artistic,
Mhm.
creative space,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
for us to really be who we are, you
Yes.
know, and
Love
I've gotten to perform at the Abbey, at
Oh my God,
Heart.
yes.
I just
Oh,
performed
yes.
a couple months ago. I've performed at LA Pride.
Yes.
I was on the main stage
I
for
remember
OC
that.
Pride. Like,
Yes.
so, you know, just being in direct relationship, like, with our community when I'm performing, I really feel like it's so celebratory. And I think that, you know, actually at my LA Pride performance, I had this giant like 30-foot LED screen that said like God loves all of us.
Oh my God, yes.
Behind
that's
me.
so
I remember
And-
seeing
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
I just felt like really like that was a message that I wanted to bring
Wow.
to, and whatever their experience of God is, like he, she, like the universe, source, like, but just to know that you are loved and that we, you know, we belong just as much as anyone
yeah.
else.
Absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I always talk about how I think Lady Gaga is a spiritual leader and like other artists that, you know, are here to empower people and make people love themselves more. And
Right.
so,
And that's so needed, especially in our community, LGBTQ+.
Yes.
I can
Right,
say,
right.
I can say
Plus,
it.
yes.
Because, you know, it's so overshadowed by all the negative stuff that
Yeah.
people say about the type of people that we are. We really are very good. We're natural regular human people. There's no
Yes.
difference in anything. Just maybe we love different things.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yes.
And everybody has a right of their own opinion. But the fact is, we are a community of people. We do understand how to love. I think we actually understand how to love even more.
Yes.
Because the fact is, like you said about that closet experience, like, hey, I was still closeted.
Yeah.
People are out there that are actually still straight, are still closeted because
Yeah.
they're afraid of knowing that, hey, what's going to happen? What are the repercussions if I'm not who I'm supposed to be based on the world?
Yeah,
'Cause
what
the
who
worldview-
the world is telling me who I need to
Yeah,
be. And
exactly.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think queer people are all survivors to a degree in the sense
I
that
agree.
who you are and who you love and what you love is your identity.
Yes.
And so you know, people are like, they talk about sexuality. It's beyond that. It's more
Yes.
so
Way more than
about who you love and that
Yes.
being the essence of who you are and how
Right.
you want to be in this world and how your soul was called to express itself in this world.
Yes.
And so I think that the more we can come into harmony with who we are meant to be and to
Yes.
showcase that through
Mhm.
business and the arts, those all then become vessels for healing. And
Yes.
right now I'm also the head of digital brand for a nonprofit organization called Encircle,
Okay.
which was founded in Utah, but it is one of the leading mental health organizations for queer youth.
Wow.
And
Beautiful.
This, you know, the suicide rates for queer youth are staggering. The
Really?
homelessness rates
Oh my
for queer
God.
youth are staggering across the country. And, you know, this organization has supported this community by providing nearly 200,000 services of therapy and
Okay.
friendship circles and
Wow.
other programming to help youth feel holistic in their identities and
Wow.
to feel healthy and not just I'm gonna have a hard life and need to survive, but I can actually thrive. And
Yeah.
you know, I know that for me on my therapy journey and my mental health journey, like just to know that like young people may have a different experience, I think
Yeah.
is my why. Going back to
Wow.
yeah,
That is so beautiful. I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. I love
And
it.
you know what? To add to that, like a really good example is I used to be married myself. I used to be a straight man. I have 2 kids, and it took me a long time to get out of my closet to realize who I was. And there's tons of people even to this day that don't know that there is goodness. There's these communities you're creating
Yeah.
that people can
Yes.
go out and talk and say, hey, like I have this problem. How do I become who I really am inside?
yeah,
And not feel like someone's going to attack me for it
Yeah.
or make me feel minimal to the point where now you're getting those suicide people, right? Oh, I don't think I
Yeah.
should survive this. God doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
But like you even said in the message on the parade, hey, on the Pride parade is, hey, God loves everyone. And I think, like you
Yes.
said, that
Yes.
message stands out to me a lot because that took me a long time to get out of my closet to
Mhm.
realize that I didn't get out of the closet till I was 32.
yeah,
And some
Right.
people don't even know how to or what are the repercussions, but there's none. The only repercussion is the regret.
yeah,
That's how I see it. I feel
Very
like, why
true.
do you want to live life with a regret when the fact is, be you, be happy, and the world's gonna love you anyways.
yeah.
It's so beautiful that you're using your voice and your talent for your community as well. You know, like you're a pop star, you know, you're a
Yes.
celebrity, you're an
Pop
icon, and you use all that glow, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, for your community to help other people and in places where they really need the help. Like Mr. Eli said, you know, back when he was younger, he may have not, for one, there wasn't social media like there is today, and whatever
Yeah.
social media that he did have, there was no Mr. Chris there to show
Yeah.
people like you can be
Wasn't.
yourself.
Yeah.
And now that we have somebody, a star like you, it's
You're
like,
the
oh my
savior.
God, we could be ourselves. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And even if you're somebody who, you're already yourself. Again, we are ourselves. We're Eli and Mike. We're fully us.
Yeah.
But there's still so much room to grow, especially from an individual like you. Like I said, last week we walked out of our masterclass and we just learned how to love more. So it's like you could keep learning.
Well, and that being yourself is loving more. And that's the thing, like having that vibrancy just emanate off of you, and people can feel that energy.
Yes, like, can you guys feel our energy? Because like I feel it right now. It's like all around us. And oh my God. And one thing that we love is that, you work with such high-end CEOs and executives. Like we just spoke about the Kardashians, the Jenners, Lindsay Lohan. It takes a lot to be in front of these people. And another one that you work with is the Hiltons.
Yeah,
and Paris, we love you. And again, working like with these type of individuals, they're powerhouses. It seems like you started right there, right when you got out of school. You're with the Jenners, the Kardashians. Now you're with the Hiltons. Is this hard for you? Because most people start like at the bottom, and you were like, you know what, I'm gonna be right at. You went right to the top, like worldwide names. Again, the Kardashians. Right now with the Hilton, does this take a toll on you, or you're meant for this greatness? Yeah,
no, I honestly, the cool thing about it is that working with, I've had such amazing experiences with all my clients.
Yes.
And just and to kind of have this unique window, like when I was working with Kelly Osbourne, she was like filming the Fashion Police every week, and at the time, like
I love the Fashion Police.
Joan Rivers was still alive.
Yes,
rest in
that
peace,
was a great show. Oh my God,
rest in peace. She would like talk to us during the filming and everything that. So it was just really cool to see, like you said, the humanity of these artists and these stars, which, obviously celebrities, we all have our own projections of who we think they are.
Yes.
But what it comes down to it is that they're hardworking. They, all have their own stories that have brought them to where they are. And so for me, I always kind of thought, like, sometimes I've had easier experiences working for them.
Oh my God, amazing. This is great to hear. This is great to hear.
Which are maybe
not a Paris Hilton.
Maybe more difficult in some ways, but none of my celebrity clients, they've all been so inspiring. And I think
amazing.
One of the amazing things that I feel like being on the back end, just on the business side, was I get a really good interaction with how impactful they are in terms of their fans. So like working with the Kardashians, like I would get to like open all their fan mail and like all of their letters and stuff like that. And there were so many messages that they would receive saying things like, "Oh, I don't have a family, but I love watching your family," and just the most beautiful messages, and obviously like, being the head of social for Paris, like just like she's inundated with all this love and this support on Twitter and everywhere. And just like, to me, it's inspired me, because then I go back to all the things that I create and things that I do in this world, and I'm like, oh, to be able to give people access to your heart, and to like then like reflect that back to people so that they can feel better about who they are, like that's such a beautiful service. And I think a lot of people don't see that as celebrities. They see it as like very self-glorifying, or that like they're in it for themselves. But the clients that I've had to work for, they have definitely, what they do and what they see they do is a service. Right. And I feel like a lot of people don't see, for one, the team that's behind, the celebrity. And then a lot of people don't see how hard a celebrity works. And right now your key word was they are all the celebrities we just talked about, from the Kardashians, the Hiltons, the Lohan. Your word was hard work. And I feel like a lot of people don't see, that these celebrities are working so hard. They just think, for instance, Parrish, people don't understand how much of an entrepreneur, powerful, CEO woman that she is. And when I was speaking with her, I was like, I literally told her, I was like, people don't understand how hard you and your family work. And she was like, it's because they're jealous. And I was like, honestly, I love you so much. Because they're jealous, because the reason why she said that is because they don't understand how hard her and her family works, and her mom and her sister and her team. And they don't understand that. So, they come up with these bad energies, and they come up with this jealousy. You're just lucky. You're just lucky. And in all reality, it takes so much, like you just said, hard work. I've been in the industry for 15 years, and Paris has definitely been my favorite boss
Love
ever.
it. Oh my God, I love it so
And
much.
she's
Love
the
it so
hardest working
Yes.
human. I don't even want to say
Right.
woman. She's the hardest
Yes.
working human.
Yes,
like
yes.
I've ever met.
And with the
Wow.
hardest working team, because again, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you know, we've been to a couple events with you
Yeah.
on site, and just you being there and
Yeah.
making sure everything is right, and, you know, making sure she's posted correct,
Yeah.
everything you do. And I can
Yeah.
just go on and on, but it all comes down also to the team as well,
Yeah.
because she is that person, the
Yeah.
most
Right.
hardest working human
She
being.
is.
And we're some of those people, and I know you
Yeah.
are too. But for me and Eli, you know, we would not be able to do it without our team. We have a personal assistant now. We
Yeah.
have 2 individuals that are our partners, and we don't even call them assistants. I made that mistake one time. I was talking to Kobe Bryant's coach, Mr. Tim, and he's one of our very good friends, and
Yeah.
we've known
Nice.
him for a long time, right? And basically, he bring his partner along with him. It's his personal partner. And, you know, we were in front of a crowd, and I was like, you're so amazing. And also, I just want to let you know that your, like, assistant is so amazing. And he was like, hold up. And the whole crowd went dry. And they all were looking at me, and he was like, that's not my assistant. That's my partner. And I was like, oh, my
Yeah.
God, you
I
are
love
so
that.
right. You are so right. And that's why, you know, I will never call my partners an
Yeah.
assistant again,
Yeah.
because to me, they're my partners. They're on my level. I would never put them under me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I call it like a personal partner now, rather than
Yeah.
personal
Oh
assistant.
my God, I love
you know,
that.
and
That's
like
so
we're
cool.
all on the same level,
Yeah.
and just like you and Paris, you guys are on the same
That's
level.
right.
Yeah.
Because without each other, it just wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And so that's kind of how we look at our partners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's everything. You know?
yeah, it's honestly, I think that, you know, it goes back to doing what you love, and you guys
Yes.
have cracked the code, and
Oh my
like
God.
obviously it took so much hard work, but to
Yes.
keep evolving and to keep like pursuing
Yes.
that experience of doing what you love. And you know, one day you wake up and you're just like, oh my God, I got to
Yes.
like have meetings, do
Yes.
live speaking,
Mhm.
do trainings, like
Love it.
interface with my team, and
Yes.
and also record a podcast. It's
Mhm.
like, it's just the playground, right?
Yeah,
We talk about the
exactly,
play
the
mastermind,
playground. Oh my
and just
God.
like you guys get to play, and like
Yes.
that, you want to play on the playground with people that you enjoy.
Absolutely.
And I feel like
Mhm.
that's why my company, I have a marketing agency that was
Yes.
featured in Forbes last
Oh,
year.
yes,
and
I love that.
I was named as like one of the top entrepreneurs
Yes.
in the country.
Yes.
Congratulations.
And in doing so, what I realized was that that I had to create something that I felt like I loved,
Yes.
but then also work with people that I love. And that's
Love
the
that.
and
Love
that's
that.
that's the secret sauce,
Yes,
right?
really
Because
is.
you lose your life force, you lose your seams
Mhm.
really quickly
Mhm.
when you're not surrounded around people that, you know, part of being an entrepreneur was that I wanted to have more freedom in business. I wanted to have
Mhm.
more freedom, more play
Yes.
in just my daily,
Right.
you know? And so
Yes.
to be able to have that vehicle to actually just express yourself more,
Yes.
it's how you create more prosperity, abundance, and success.
Love
and
it.
you know,
love
to
it.
add to that, like we teach in our culture, choose your hard. Choose your hard broke.
Mhm.
You want to live a hard broke life, and I mean that means you're not happy. An unhappy broke,
No
hard
money.
life, no money, right? But it also means you're not happy, right? Or you choose a happy, fulfilled, wealthy life, but it's also hard. It's a different
Yeah.
type of hard.
Oh,
And
Right.
so they're both hard lives because it is
Yeah.
hard to be
Yeah.
wealthy. It is hard to be healthy,
Mhm.
but it's also
Mhm.
hard to be broke. It's hard
Yeah.
to be devastated. It's hard to
Yeah.
just be home and let your body go to waste because you don't
Yeah.
decide to work out.
Correct.
Either hard is difficult, but you choose your heart.
Right.
And you know,
Mm.
all these individuals, these influencers, Paris Hilton and the Kardashians,
Yeah.
yourself, ourselves, we don't wake up every day just thinking life is too hard, I'm going to sit in bed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We say life is hard and I'm going to make myself I'm going to make it even harder,
Yeah.
but in the way that makes sense for me. I'm going to make myself in a position where it's going to be more of an obstacle to make it more challenging so that I can go to the next tier in life. Because
Totally.
otherwise we're going to stay in this position of whether it's obsolete, whether, okay, well, you were yesterday's news.
Yeah.
We always want to see what's next. What's the future look like? So let's create our heart in the way where we're going to be able to educate people or fulfill other people. Because it's not about us anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really where you resonate a lot of your
Yes,
energy.
yeah.
You have this way of just, it's not about Sir Chris
Yeah.
Saint. It's
Mhm,
about
mhm.
everybody else that you inspire.
Yes.
I think that, you know, I'm inspired by people who have connected to that higher purpose and that higher vision and understanding
Yes.
more legacy, right?
Mhm.
Like, I know we have very similar missions, and expanding more opportunities for people of color, for queer people, just like, you know, being uplifted and empowered as members in our community, but just on the main stage. Like, that's what we deserve. And like, I think that maybe that's another piece of my why. I'm like, oh, figuring it out right here in the podcast.
Let's figure it out right here. I love it.
It's really just...
There's a couple of pieces to the why, you know what I mean? So you have to put it all together.
The why is very multifaceted.
You know,
and like, it's ever evolving. But another piece of it is that, you know, right now I have a venture in venture capital.
Oh, yes.
That's about to be announced. And
amazing.
Just being in that world, I was like, well, I want to see myself represented in this. Like, the 1% looks the way that it does. And how do we move to the center? Like, especially also like within the beauty and the fashion industry and all these spaces that are now becoming more diversified. I think, you know, our business leaders and CEOs and, you know, finance, all of these industries have to become more representative of the people in order for that change to happen. Right.
And I just want to stay on the subject of you know, a hard life, you know, because everybody, like Eli said, choose your hard. You're going to choose your hard if you have money or if you don't. You know, life is hard, and that's just the reality of it. You know,
that is so. I'm literally keeping that, like, sewing it on a pillow.
I know. When he said it right now, I got the chills. I was like, let me repeat this. Merch ideas.
Gym tank.
Love it. Yes, exactly. Choose your heart.
Pride tank. Oh, you know. Pride tank.
Oh my God.
Like, choose your heart. Means something else to other people.
Oh my God, that's a good one. Okay, we have our new saying this year for Pride. I love it.
Oh my word.
And since we're on this subject, so like, you know, there has, I'm sure, because I feel like everybody that we've come across, and if we haven't, I'm sure they have this too, but everybody has their hard where there was a moment in their life where it was just a pivoting moment where you're like, wow, this is like a really hard time in my life. I'm just down in the trenches. You know, are you okay sharing that with us? When do you feel like you had a hard time? I know on one of my first podcasts, I was telling our guests, like, my hard time was laying on the floor and there's bugs, and, you know, and that changed my whole mindset. I was 9 years old, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to, at 9, right? I'm like, I'm going to be in Beverly Hills. I already had that mindset, but because I had a moment where, again, it was a hard time in my life. There was a bug crawling through my hair. There was leaks from the rain in the roof, and, you know, that's sleeping on the floor, you know. But that moment made me change, because I always go back to that moment and I'm like, oh my God, I could like be better than that. So like, what was your moment where it was your hardest point and you're like, I'm going to change?
Like, never again.
Okay, one moment. This might sound cheesy, but we're going to go there.
Hey, no, nothing too cheesy here.
You know, but at the same time, I don't want to invalidate it. I actually last year went through a love experience that really was so transformative on so many levels, and helped me expand to this version of myself that's still evolving, but like loves himself more every day. And but kind of that swing back, the opposite of like experiencing heartbreak and just like, you know, it not working out, like that is so also it's transformative, but it's also healing. And there are definitely parts of that experience and even the grieving process that I kind of lost a little bit of my that inspiration of like, why am I here? Like, then what's the point? I was like gaslighting God every single day. Like, I'm giving up. I'm over this bullshit.
Oh my God, yes.
You could have just given me the boy, and now like I'm over it, you know? And I was just like fighting with God every single day. But to your point, and this is what it reminded me of, is that I have learned, and in my connection with my spiritual faith, like the difference between praying, just sitting down, praying kneeling at the foot of your bed, and then praying face down on the floor, sobbing. You know, I've learned all of those
oh my God.
phases, and that's helped me. Like, when I do public speaking, I'll have people come up to me. Like, I did one session recently, and a woman came up to me and was like, I've been, you know, thinking about like quitting medical school, but I'm so afraid of like upsetting my parents, but this talk like just gave me the courage to like go and pursue my real passion. It wasn't medicine. And so like, but people can feel on you when you've gone through stuff, and you've like transcended stuff, you know?
Right.
And like, I think that is maybe the great equalizer in this world, is that we
Wow.
all go through suffering and
Yes.
pain.
Of course.
And I love what you guys talked about, reframing that and using that as the springboard or the launch pad towards your success. And
Yes.
so, yeah, that I feel like just going through what I've had to go through in terms of heartbreak and just like
Yes.
relationships, and it's not a failed relationship, but a relationship that's really like, you're gonna have to learn to love yourself.
Yes, right. Or there's
and
nothing
no one
left.
else can do that for you.
Yes.
That was
Oh my
one of my
God.
huge
Wow.
lessons.
And that's being
Yeah.
really vulnerable. And also, you guys, that was 1 year ago, right? About a
Yeah,
year
yeah.
or so ago. And, you're telling us that, basically this was one of your pivoting points in your life, one of your
Yes.
hardest points in your life.
Yeah.
And oh my God, 1 year later, again,
Yeah.
you're sitting here, most
Yes.
iconic ever. It's sitting in Gucci.
I'm back, bitches.
He's back, and he's
Yay.
literally like working with the best people in the
Yeah.
world.
Seriously, with the
Yeah.
best.
The Hiltons, he's dressed to the T, like, oh my God, and all in 1 year. And remember, when people go through those hard times, sometimes
Yeah.
it takes a long time to get out of it.
It
You know what I
does.
mean? Like, I went through mine when I was 9, and it took
Yeah.
me years till I was
Yeah.
like 16, where I'm like, okay, I'm 16, I can get my own job and make this happen.
I have an amazing therapist, so
So there you
anyone
go.
needs-
Okay, we're gonna need his number before you leave, or her.
Yeah.
And honestly,
But-
for you guys that are watching, if you're going through your moment right now,
Yes.
like you might be going through your hard time right this minute.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you guys have to realize we've been through it. We
Right.
might encumber another one of them. Remember,
my God,
everybody's
yeah.
hard
Yes,
times
yeah.
are
Right.
continuous. We
Yes.
might hit another one next year or 2 years from now, 5 years. It just is very repetitive.
Yeah.
And it's knowing how to find that solution
Right.
and realizing, hey, it's okay. It happens to everybody.
Right,
Even the
right.
1%ers, like
Yeah.
you brought up,
Yes.
they're going through their own little problems too. They're not
Yeah.
always necessarily happy. But the
Yes.
fact is they find a way, their why, and say,
Yeah.
and you even said it yourself. You said you got to love yourself.
Mhm.
And I think that's important because when you went through your breakup,
Yeah.
it was hard for you, right? You're like,
Yeah.
why, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That your why went away. Actually,
Yeah.
it was like, why
Yeah,
went?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gone.
Yes.
And you got it back because you're
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm gonna love me.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important because that you're the lifeline of
Yeah.
everything that goes on in here. And if your heart keeps beating, your
Yeah.
brain keeps moving, then you honestly can recover. And I think that was really nice that you said that because you recognized it
Mhm.
and you realized, how am I going to love anybody else or even love this person that we gave up
Yeah.
on, this relationship,
Mhm.
if I don't even love me?
Yeah.
That's important.
so beautiful. And like, yeah, I do feel like showing up with for yourself, like whether it's like Miley Cyrus buying yourself flowers.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes it's just
Right.
like
Hey.
your
Yeah.
body is telling you you need to take a nap, like you're
Yes,
exhausted, or you need to take a
yes.
hot shower, you need to
Right.
reset, you know,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
just take care of yourself and like eat something that you want to enjoy and just like
Right.
luxuriate on that just
Yes.
enjoyment and that pleasure. Like I feel
Yes.
like there's aspects of this hustle culture and just
Right.
like everything that we feel like our value is like in
Yes.
either a relationship or
Right.
in our success, but
Yes.
like having all those things, sometimes you're like, okay, the value really comes from like,
Yeah.
do I love myself? Am I
Right.
gonna like be happy with the person that lays his head on
I
my
love
pillow,
that because
know?
you said
Oh,
this in the
wow.
master class the other day, and he was
Yeah.
telling us basically do little things even if
Yeah.
you have to eat something that you really like, you
Yeah.
know, just
Yeah.
to make you feel better. And sometimes you're just going all in as entrepreneurs. You're working
Mm-hmm.
out all the time. Your meal plans are just so on
Yeah.
point. You know what I mean?
I was like living for my
You-
meal program
yeah.
for like 3 months, and now I'm like,
Right?
I hate you. man.
Yes. It's like the same meal every day or every other day. And I remembered what you said the other day, and I was sitting on the couch, and this is so funny. There were some like tortilla chips inside
Yeah.
the cabinet, and I went and like ate half the freaking bag.
Yes.
But it was one of those moments. I was
Yeah.
like, I've been working out for like 3 months straight. Like I have not cheated. I'm just like in one of those moments where I'm like, I need something right now. And I was like, you know what? Mr. Chris said if you have to enjoy
Yeah.
something. And it's so funny because it was a bag of tortilla chips.
Definitely
Yeah.
indulge. For
Like
sure.
something so little
Yeah.
like that people forget that you can go have a little snack and it can change your whole mindset
Yeah.
because you have to also take care of yourself. You have to love yourself. And I'm not saying go have a bag of tortilla chips every
Yeah.
freaking day, but that moment changed my life.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
amazing because you just basically the way I see it is you backpedal a little bit, but it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Because as long as you go forward and you don't keep backpedaling over and over.
Yes,
'Cause
right.
You only open the bag of chips once.
Yeah,
you don't keep
yeah.
opening
I
them
put
every
that
single
away after
day.
that.
Well, honestly,
Yeah.
it's so much better, right? When you're conscious of it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this for me.
Yes, yes.
Right. Then you've now put yourself in the driver's seat.
Oh my God,
Oftentimes when
yes.
we repress those desires, or
Right.
then we we completely regress, you
Yes,
know? So
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, there was control. you know
everything
what I
in
mean?
balance and moderation. That's mine.
Exactly. There was balance. There was
That's
balance.
mine.
It just sounds so funny because it was
Yeah.
tortilla chips. But I'm
Yes.
telling you, when you work out all the time and you're on those meal plans, like you said,
Yeah.
it's like tortilla chips could be heaven. You know what I mean? You're
Well,
like,
we
oh
were
my
talking before. My guilty pleasure is dark sodas. So
Oh,
like-
yes. Okay.
It was
That's
before.
Eli.
It was off scene.
Yeah,
it
it
was off
was-
scene.
Oh wow, that's
I-
Eli.
I was
also.
telling him that when we first met that I only drank Sprite.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause he was drinking Sprite right now. I'm like, oh, I couldn't drink dark soda in front of Mike
Yeah.
because he's gonna think I'm ugly. He's like,
Oh
oh, he's
my
one of those dark soda guys.
I love dark soda.
Yeah, but not when you start dating.
Oh my
Has to
God.
be
We gotta
Sprite.
keep it cute.
We
Yeah.
gotta keep it cute.
And we have one more guilty pleasure. It's Chris and mine. I think Eli's too. Chicken strips.
Oh my God,
Oh,
yes,
Lord.
chicken tenders,
Chicken tender,
strips.
chicken
Can you bring
tenders.
some in here?
Oh,
please?
like
Right.
a bucket of chicken.
You
like,
know,
I
like-
like have like a nickname like that I gave myself, like the fried chicken pop star. And I
Oh
just,
my
like,
God,
feel like
okay.
No
The
way.
chicken
that
pop star,
if you
fried
think-
chicken
If
pop
you
star.
ever think of like yourself as like a doll, like
Yeah.
and what accessories it will come
Mhm.
with, mine will come with a microphone, a purse, and a bucket of chicken.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can see it
I can literally
already.
see it.
This is so. I can't wait till your doll's made because
Yeah.
it's gonna have like a little bucket of chicken.
Yeah, or like
So good.
chicken that gets to put
Yeah.
you get to put it in the purse.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I'm the person that like
Stop.
will like have like wrapped chicken strips in a
Oh,
in a purse.
okay, and your
In,
purse.
like, an
Oh my God.
Louis.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love it. I
so,
love
so I'm
it.
curious. So
But basically, you guys, this is to show you guys, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could be a 1%er, but you could also, you know, live your life, be happy, have your playground, you know what I mean? And, like, sometimes you can't take life so serious. This sounds funny. Sometimes you have to have a chicken strip, or you have
Eat
to have
the
some
damn chicken strips.
Eat
What are-
your chicken strips and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just go work out after. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's the hard part working out for me, but I still got to do it. So curious. So you're 33. You have a lot going on with your life. You're not in a relationship. Am I right?
No,
You're
not in a
single. So
relationship.
single, ready to
There you
mingle,
go.
or just single?
Oh my God.
Single, ready to
I
mingle, or
have-
just single?
I have a roster going right now. So
What?
Yes.
wants to join the roster.
There you go.
Wow, join
We're
up,
taking-
guys.
Yes.
Send the
Slide into the
messages.
DMs.
Okay, there you go.
We'll
Yeah.
filter the
Right.
application.
There you go. We'll filter it out.
Hey, I
Love
can
it.
control the people that are gonna hit you up.
Yes.
But did you ever see yourself as having children or having?
Yeah.
Is that something you still?
It's
think
definitely
about?
something, yeah,
Yes.
I am interested in.
Right.
I do see, I've already named the kids.
Oh my God. Do we get to know? Tell
I
us.
could tell you.
Tell us.
So the boy's name, no one better steal this.
Oh my
whatever.
God, I'm so
It's
scared.
okay. The boy's name is Colorado Bowie.
Oh my God. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful name. Wow. Oh my God. I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the boy's name's Colorado Bowie, and then the girl's name is Aspen Love.
Oh my God. Can you
That's
have your kids
amazing.
already?
I know, I can't
Like,
wait.
excuse
No,
me.
Somebody
so-
donate.
Yeah.
It's so Gwyneth Paltrow, like,
Oh
just
my
for
God.
sure, like,
I
having,
love
like,
it.
oh, but, like, you know, Paris
Yeah,
just named
yes.
Phoenix
I
and, like,
know.
Yeah.
London,
So
yeah, so they're
beautiful.
definitely,
Yes.
like,
Oh my
Colorado.
God, so
the state,
beautiful.
and
And
Aspen.
since we're getting into this,
Yeah.
you know, like when you do have your children, is this something where you're gonna adopt? Is this something where you're gonna have a surrogate? Because you know, there's a lot of our
many
community
methods
out
now.
there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure they're thinking this. You know, hey, like if I ever decide to have children, you know, maybe we can see how you're gonna take
Yeah.
this.
Honestly, I haven't really thought that far,
Yeah.
but I am open to either. You know, I'm open to
Yes.
adoption. I'm open
Right.
to the petri dish situation.
Yeah, right,
I don't know how it works.
Yes, exactly,
Like-
exactly. Yes, right. Yeah, there's options.
The battle of the sperms.
Yes,
But, okay, I
exactly,
used to like
exactly. Who's
the
make
winner?
this
Yeah.
joke though,
Mhm.
like where I was like, it's obviously not gonna happen. I don't know. Just say like, oh yeah, Vanessa Hudgens is gonna be my surrogate.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
wow.
that would be amazing.
She's
She
probably
is,
watching.
she is,
At the,
yeah.
at the time, I was dating a
Right.
white dude, so
Oh
I was like,
my-
oh, like,
Okay,
I'm half
okay.
Filipino.
Oh my
or, well,
God.
I'm Filipino and she's half Filipino, half white.
Oh
so
my
like,
God. Perfect. And so you know, there's options obviously,
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna depend on who you're with, right?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
if you
for
choose to be
sure.
with the partner and have
Yeah.
a child, and sometimes people choose to have a child and
Yeah.
they don't even have a partner.
Yeah.
So you know, I guess you know it comes down to what you're gonna choose, who
Yeah.
you're with at the time, and
There-
that moment, right?
I've been reading this book around divine abundance, but it's shifting my mindset, which is always like manifesting. I know what I want, and like I'm gonna get what I want. It's like
Yes.
very laser focused.
Mhm.
But then there's this other part where you kind of soften and you just
Mhm.
receive, right? And so
Yes.
that part of my life, I'm super surrendered. Like in like the
Wow.
business, like
Yes.
career, I'm like a shark. But like
Love it.
on that side, I'm like, I'm open to the divine plan for that.
Wow,
Yeah.
powerful.
And divine plan. So like, do you have like a schedule that you could like share with all of us? Is like, cause you're working again with these high network
Yeah.
people. Like, I'm sure your schedule is so much different than ours and our community out here.
I think in the next 5 years, you know,
Yes.
maybe. But I mean, also like, okay, so like aside from the child, I have this like vision of my wedding. I believe I think we talked about
okay,
this.
yes,
at tea,
tell us,
right?
yes.
Like
Refresh
that
me,
it's gonna be a
refresh me.
Wizard of Oz theme.
Oh my God! Yes. Oh, wait, we briefly touched on
talked
it.
about
Yeah.
this, yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
with the. Oh my God, this is gonna be an epic wedding, you guys.
Yeah,
Send it,
guys.
guys.
So the dance floor will be like the yellow brick road, but
Yes.
the aisle that I'd be walking on is my friend. She was like, I'm gonna creative direct it, and it'll be like those LED screens that I'll be like walking on.
Yes.
But like it'll be white, and then as I walk, this gradient rainbow is gonna
Yes,
like
somewhere over
showcase,
the
so
rainbow.
Somewhere over
See
the
that.
rainbow.
Oh my
is
God.
gonna
See that.
play.
Yes.
And like I'll be walking, and then like there'll be some sick like Dorothy.
Yes.
Like, type
Oh my
shoes,
God.
yeah.
Yes.
And so, anyways, I'm definitely in this phase focused on the partner, and
Yes.
then the kids will come. from
Right.
them.
Kids
Yeah.
and marriage and
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz weddings.
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it.
So are you still pursuing your music career? Or are you still creating
Yeah.
music and all that? I know you're gonna have a release.
Right.
But are you still pursuing?
Yeah, right now. So this is very interesting. Just kind of balancing art, love,
Yes.
personal life,
Yes.
creation, like,
Right. Yes.
business. Like
Mhm.
I am definitely in the. And I got to learn this from Paris. So she's so diversified; it's amazing.
Right.
You know, just
Yes.
like
Oh my
her
God.
whole empire is like
Right.
NFTs, and like she has her memoir coming out, and all these
Right.
different things.
So
and so I
many
learned
things.
that you can be everything.
Yeah.
You know, and
Okay.
so, but music right now, I'm definitely gearing towards some big things for second half of this year. But like
Got it.
this first half of the year, I'm like coaching
Yes.
business stuff and just like
Yes.
working on the venture fund. So like I like kind of like playing and then being like, okay, cool. Now my heart is calling me towards this
Mhm.
stuff. But
Yes.
I still just to kind of like itch or scratch the itch is like I still have songwriting sessions all the time.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm constantly in the studio.
Mhm.
That's
Like,
amazing.
Mhm.
You know, I like how you said that you're still that even the one percenters like Paris and them, they're doing so many different things.
Yeah.
Like us doing this podcast show. I think this is our 9th one.
I believe so.
Our
Yes.
ninth. So we
Right,
are
thank you.
getting a lot of momentum with it.
Yeah.
We're already having the list of people that just want to be on it. Aside from that, we're also spending a lot of time with investing in
Yeah.
real estate. We're spending time in training. We're spending time in our core business, which is our brand, the Elon
Right.
Mike brand.
Yeah.
So we're focused a lot in so many different things, and we're not done. We're like, hey, we can fill our plate a little bit more
Yeah.
because we do have our personal assistant now that
Yeah.
actually even reminds us in the morning. "Here's your
Personal
calendar."
partner. Personal
Personal
partner.
partner reminds us, sends us this calendar of everything that
Yeah.
we're expecting to do, and we're like, we can fit something in that time right
That's
here.
so
You know, 'cause
cool.
we're just like, hey, let's
Yeah.
do more because
Yes.
I honestly want to go home at the end of the
Yeah.
night and feel like not necessarily exhausted, but I want to feel fulfilled.
Mhm.
You
One
know,
of the
and
philosophies we talk about in the master classes are just about when your heart is open, right? You're more on this emotional guidance of passion, enthusiasm, joy, love,
Mhm.
which is our default state, right? And so that is actually more expansive. It's giving you energy. So I use this example all the time. Like if you watch this HBO documentary of Beyonce,
Mhm.
she's like, she can't stop working, and it's because it's fun. Like
Yeah.
she's like
Yeah.
editing her music videos on the
Mhm.
plane. Like
Yes.
she's all of her staff and crew. They're like, we're tired. Like feed us. But Beyonce's like going. You
Yes,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
right,
So
yeah.
I think that's
Mhm.
proof is like finding yourselves in alignment. You have so much energy, and they always say
Yes.
that like whenever you hit this rut or you're feeling stagnant, it's not because you're doing too much. It's because you're not doing enough of what your heart wants you to do.
Wow.
So
that's
like you
beautiful.
said, like you're just like, let's fill that extra hour with something my heart wants to do.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I
feel like
love
work.
that.
Right.
That's-
And something that you specialize in, and maybe you can drop some gold nuggets for us, is when
Yeah.
it comes to marketing. So in the real estate and loan world, and honestly, mostly all businesses, marketing is key. Marketing
Yeah.
is everything.
Absolutely.
If you're not seen, you're not known, then how's anybody going to ever hire you for business? And you're a marketing expert. That's what you went to college
Yeah.
for. Like, oh my God, loves it. So can you just drop some like gold nuggets for us? Like
Well,
in the year 2023, what should we be doing in this world that is basically based off of marketing?
So two things, which little fun thing
Please.
for my idols who I've worked for.
Yay.
Kim Kardashian, she says what they asked her what her talent was in her True Hollywood story, and she said marketing.
Right.
And they asked Paris in her documentary what her talent is, and she says branding.
Oh my
And so
God.
it's like so cool to just be in the
Wow.
marketing and branding
Yes.
profession. That's one of my talents as well.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Oh my
Definitely.
God.
And I really think that, like, I talk about branding from less about, the external, but more the internal, right? Is that your brand is a cocktail of energy, emotion, frequency. It's really the essence of who you are.
Yes.
And so when I think of marketing, and just like a quick fire tip for the audience is about storytelling. That's always going to keep moving into the center. Like, podcast is a vehicle for storytelling, your content, your social media, all of that. So the more empowered you feel in not only telling your story and like activating, like being that first lit birthday candle and telling the truth, right? But then that creating that value for other people, and that truth now being lit up in them. Now suddenly they feel more empowered to tell their truth, and that's how you're building this connection. And so the power of storytelling, it's even since tribalism, it's always been that, that's always been a power that we have.
Yes.
And then aligning that with purpose. I think that we're now seeing, I just did the statistic, is 85% of consumers demand that businesses in some way are creating a feedback loop to social change. And so I see that, we as entrepreneurs, as business leaders, we possess solutions to shift the world and to shift the paradigm.
Wow.
And so whether that's just the cultures we're creating, the new products, the innovation that we're bringing to life. And so I think that the more that you can not only communicate your story and your vision, but also align that with that purpose, that's the most infectious part of marketing.
Wow.
And you know what? One of our good friends, Dan Fleshman, he also has I think he has a PR company too, and he also brings up the fact that anybody can actually market. And the hard part is a lot of people think, oh, you need a podcast show. Yeah, this will help out, maybe bring it out more and to a bigger audience. But the cell phone, computers, it's free marketing. You can get your phone. I mean, back in the day, Mike even said it himself, back in the day when I was growing up, there was no social media. Nobody knew who I was. I had to work 10 times harder.
Right.
Now, if you
there's
work
pagers.
Now if you work 10 times harder with today's marketing things that are available, you can scale so much more.
Yeah.
And like this podcast show, it's our 9th one, and we are getting some insane relationships.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy about it.
Because you have a platform, which is amazing.
And we have the brand. Just
And not only
Hilton,
do we have the brand, and I just learned this from you
Oh my
guys.
God, you guys are also in your Oprah era.
And we're in our Oprah era. Oh my God, I love it. And like you just taught me something so important, which we already perform on it, but sometimes you just have to hear it. And it's not just about like Eli and Mike, this logo. It's not just about this brand. This brand has frequency. This brand has love. This brand has outreach. It has energy. Like, imagine if we weren't putting all that into this brand, then this little colorful blue and pink name would be nothing. And some of you out there have to hear this, because sometimes you just think you have a logo and you have a brand, and that's not what it is. You need to go make that brand pop. You have to give it energy. You have to give it love. And we just learned that from Mr. Chris, who literally works with the Kardashians, the Hiltons, and he graduated with learning marketing. So like, why wouldn't you guys want to learn this from the best, the 1% in the industry? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just learned that even though we're performing on it, I can do better. I can do better because I just learned this from you right now. And I'm like, you know what? Go even harder than what you're already doing. And ultimately, it's just going to let us help more people. Like you said, it's going to help us change the world, because we're some of the people that are making moves in this world. And the ones that are not, they're not changing the world because there's no movement. And, we're moving the world along in little tiny little increments, but we're doing it. And it takes a lot of energy and push. And that comes from the brand. And I thank you for teaching me that. That's so amazing.
And that's so important. Like Mike said, there's 2 colors in the brand, right? Blue and pink. And I thought about it when I had our guy develop it, is men and women, right?
Yeah.
They usually associate the blue with a boy
Yeah.
and the pink with a woman.
Yeah.
So we are LGBTQ plus, all this, we're combining both sexes and,
Yeah.
and we're putting it out there saying, you're all one. We're all one anyways.
Yeah.
So mix the colors together and we throw out that energy and say, hey, like we are one, we're all one basically is what we're trying to say.
Yes.
But, and you do, what you do is you are doing so much right now with all these engines you got going on. You're doing this times 10, times 100.
Yeah.
No,
and-
you guys have a really stealth operation. I was
my
like, I can't wait to like just play in the office.
Oh my God, yay,
Like,
love it.
Hi
Yes.
guys, like
Yay,
simple
it's
life.
yes,
Like
you know.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
I'm here to be a realtor today.
Yay, love it. Let's get you out.
Yes.
Love it.
So I have a question for you. So I'm sure our audience who follows you or might, you guys should follow him. His
Yeah,
Instagram's
yes.
right on the board here. What does Sir Chris look like 5 years from now? So you brought up, oh yeah, 5 years maybe I'll do this, but have you ever sat down and I knew you manifest a
Yeah,
lot. You think
yeah.
a lot about where I'm going to
Yes.
be. What do you believe you're going to be in about 5 years from today?
Oh my God. Yes. Wait, this is so cool because like when it
Yes.
actually happens, like
Yes.
the fans will come and clip
Right.
this. and, like,
Yes,
they can-
exactly.
If TikTok
Exactly
still
what it is.
exists, like,
Right, yeah,
they'll,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
show he said this.
You know? Yes.
I mean, I'm not at all ashamed in any way.
Yes.
I'm shameless in this sense.
Yes,
so
love
I
it.
always say
Good.
like, I want to be bigger than Oprah.
Yes,
And
I
because
love
Oprah's
it.
like one of my idols, but
Okay,
like
this is
you
so
know,
good.
she started the Oprah Winfrey show. I think when she was 32. So
Oh my
it's about the
God.
There
same
you go.
age.
No
as that I am
way,
now.
this is
And
so epic.
Yeah, just I want to create a global media brand that like empowers people and be a billionaire. Like,
Oh my God, yes.
however, like the divine timeline wants to
Yes.
collapse time and make
Yes.
that like the sooner the better. But
Yes.
I'm also here for the ride, and
Oh
so
my
that's exciting.
God.
And then yeah, just as a music artist, like really just to continue that. Like I say, I want to be bigger than Oprah, but the Swifties might come kill me. Like I like,
Oh,
also
shit.
want to
Oh,
be
shit.
big,
Right,
I
right.
want to be as famous as
Yes.
Taylor Swift. So like
Right.
we'll just see
That's
what
pretty
happens.
famous.
Yes, the Swifties are a little powerful.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're coming for
They
me.
make
Yeah.
movements.
I won't call
movements.
for Bey for Beyonce.
You know.
But
Love that.
So I think that's beautiful that you said the fact that, and I actually think that Oprah and even Taylor, anybody that
Yeah.
you named, I would believe that they want you to be better than
Yeah.
them. Because I honestly,
Right.
a lot of people look at us sometimes like,
Yeah.
oh, how do I become an Eli
Yeah.
Mike? Like, you don't want to be us.
yeah.
You want to be above us.
Yeah.
We don't mind being
Yes.
part of a device for you to get there.
Right.
We'll train, we'll develop that. And you're
Yes.
developing leaders, you're throwing this manifesting energy
Yeah.
to people. And if people go higher than you, to me, I find that as like, wow, I was able to be part of that,
Right.
journey for them.
Yes, I second that. Like anytime somebody comes to our office, a realtor, a lender, and they're just like, "Oh, you guys are so amazing! Like you guys are Eli and Mike the Great," whatever they say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, honestly, you're gonna be better than us. You're gonna be greater than us because right now, like most of the people we work with, they're sometimes younger than us. They're just getting started. There's so much technology, so many things in this world that can advance them faster than what we've done in the last 10 years. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So we always tell people that they're gonna be better than us.
Yeah, and we never.
Um,
Every time someone tells us you're awesome, like no, we are awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I feel like, why are you giving me energy? Like we need to rotate and circulate on that energy together.
Right.
Let's swim in that beautiful love that we need
Yes.
to be in.
And that's very Lady Gaga. She would always say, I don't want people to come to my concerts loving me more. I want people to come to my concerts loving themselves more.
Oh, that's
so like when they
amazing.
leave the arena, they just now feel lit. Like we
Yes,
said,
I love
and
that.
just like loving themselves more. And so
Right.
I think that it is important for us when we are in the fullness of who we are
Yes.
and we're authentically showing up, that activates a part in others,
Right.
giving them the permission to do that.
Yes.
So
And
yes.
and also we are genuinely, this is genuinely us. We also believe that we will be billionaires, or we
do.
can say that we already are because we have to
Yeah,
manifest
manifesting
We're
it.
manifesting
Yeah.
it. But I do have a question from somebody who knows that they're a billionaire, like myself and Eli,
Yeah.
to another person who knows they're
Yeah.
a billionaire. I've been watching a lot of YouTubes or programs and whatnot, and basically they're all about billionaires because I'm
Yeah.
like, if I'm gonna be a billionaire, I need to know how billionaires think.
Yeah.
And most of them think and say to the person that's interviewing them that you have to be a little bit crazy and people are going to look at you
Yes,
like
yeah,
you're
people are gonna
crazy.
be like, wow, that person. But it's like,
Yes.
girl, like
it's
whatever.
happening. It's
Yeah.
happening. Like, there's other billionaires out there. It's happening.
That's how
They're
I
all
see it.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
that if other people can do it,
Yes.
like to, to say, why can't I?
Yes,
You know?
like that simple. That simple.
Yeah.
And you already answered it, but my question is, because I know I'm a little crazy.
Yeah.
But so do you feel like you're a little crazy? You have to be, right? Like you feel a little crazy when you're waking up at 4 a.m. and going to sleep at midnight. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, I only slept 4 hours. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you have that mindset of being a little bit
There's
crazy?
this like really iconic like Apple commercial
Uh-huh.
that really put them on the map, and it was about being like one of the crazy ones.
Oh, wow.
And it's essentially this idea that like it's crazy until they make it happen.
Right.
So the whole time people, maybe your family, your friends are always like, oh my God, you guys are so crazy.
Crazy.
And then it happens and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I was believing in you
Right.
the whole time. Like,
I knew you were the one.
I knew you were going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so,
Exactly.
I mean, I think that, when it comes back to just the work that we do, our inner
Yes.
work, and just like connecting
Yes.
to our energy and spirituality, like, I'm like, who am I to put a ceiling on God's miracle?
Right.
Like,
Yes.
if I am a
Yes.
unique emanation of God,
Right.
of source, like,
Yes.
then the expression of who I'm called to be is limitless. And so
Mhm,
I don't want my ego mind or like my
Yes.
self-limiting beliefs to like
Right.
be the barrier, right?
Right.
And that's what we're talking about. It's like,
Yes.
how do we transcend that and like say this is possible? Because for me, and going back to the why, is that I think this world needs more kind millionaires and kind billionaires, because
Yes.
the more that you then have your cup full in overflow, the more
Yes.
that you can pour into causes that you
Right.
care about. You can invest in people, and like, just coming to your office, it's so inspiring just seeing the
Thank
team
you.
and just like people that get to show up and do what they love. Like,
Yes.
that is the dream, right?
Yes,
Very much
yes,
so.
I agree to that. So at least I know I'm not that crazy.
No,
I know I'm crazy, but I know
Yeah.
that's what it takes.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what it
Because
takes.
that's what it takes. And like I said, I've seen all these YouTubes, and this is exactly what they say, exactly what you said, exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So in my mind, we're the next billionaires, or
Yeah.
we already are.
We already
because,
are. And
You
then-
know.
Well, so like I honestly think it's crazy the other way to like we talked about this in the mastermind about how the number one regret of the dying on their
Yes.
deathbed is, I wish I lived a life that I wanted for versus what other people
Yes.
wanted for me,
Right.
And I think that for me, I'm like, we're on this playground,
Yes.
Earth School, for who knows how long, right?
right.
If we're
Yes.
lucky, 80 plus years,
Mhm.
right? And you live a really full life. And
Right.
so I think that it's crazy to plateau at a
Mhm.
certain level, like, in
Yes.
your 30s or 40s, and just say like,
Yes.
okay, that's good enough.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
for me, I've always had, my heart's always been oriented toward what legacy am I leaving, and how much more impact can I create. And so I think then I feel like some of the insanity of this world is a lot more crazy.
Yeah, right.
So
yes.
for
And that's
you-
the norm.
Yeah.
It
That's
really
the
is.
norm, and
Yeah.
that's why there really is only 1% in the
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
that think the way we do, because the norm is that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Everybody wants
Yeah.
to do that. They don't want to be on the playground.
Yeah.
You know, and that's crazy, because then you're
Yeah.
laying on your deathbed and you're like, why wasn't I playing on that
Yeah.
playground? Like, I was in the middle of it, you know?
And what you just said kind of speaks a lot to me. You said the word legacy.
Yeah.
So I actually have started teaching this to two of my people recently. I see legacy in two different versions. I see legacy as instilling it in your family. Maybe
Yeah.
your family passes on the message, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I also see legacy as, let's just say you don't have the chance to have kids. Maybe that's not your
Right.
what you see in your future, but then now your word is spoken into the world.
Yeah.
So you leave a
Yes.
message, right?
Yes.
Not through your kids. The kids have maybe, whether it's monetary, whether it's mental, whether it's whatever it is.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's so important, because you have to leave a legacy. Otherwise, like you said, time is so short. There's people that I know that are 70, 80 years old. I'm sure they're already sitting there getting their Social Security, and they're like, what happened in my life? How come I didn't do what my passion was?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it was, whether it's their and a lot of
Yes.
things that they call restrictions, it's self-restrictions.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it because somebody else might say something about it. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Life
Right.
is so short. That person that's going to hate you is going to end up loving you at the end anyways.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect message you said, because the reality of it, we do have kids. That is our legacy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you don't have kids, so your legacy is your message.
Yeah.
Your word is to spread it out to everybody, to realize,
Yes.
hey, life is short. Leave your
Yes.
word out for people to follow that and say, hey, I deserve better. I
Right.
want to be who I want to be. And you're really I don't know what it is about you, but you really have something. I even stutter for it, because I don't know how you do it, but you have this
Yes.
energy about you, and that's why we joined your
Yes.
manifestation
Mhm,
group.
Yes.
mhm,
So
yes.
you know how to really throw that message out for people to
You leave a
celebrate.
legacy.
Yes.
You leave a
That's-
legacy.
That's the legacy.
And
right?
you guys,
That's
you
the
don't,
message.
like Eli said, you know, you don't have to have kids to leave a legacy. I mean, some
Yeah.
people have kids and then they don't even leave the legacy with them. So you know what I mean? Like, make sure you choose your legacy and you make it happen, because honestly, it's not always going to be the children, your family. Sometimes it's just you spreading yourself to the world. You're the
Yeah.
legacy, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
So, just to show our viewers, we wanted to definitely just thank you for being here on
Oh
our
my
podcast.
God, this was
Yes,
so
this
fun.
is so
I'm
amazing.
so proud of you guys.
Loves it. Thank you.
So, if anybody wants to follow Sir Chris Saint, he's
Yes.
amazing. He's an influencer. He's doing. Are you doing a podcast show still? I think you were talking about that, right? You're doing
We have a podcast coming out.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
a
my
manifestation
God.
podcast
Okay,
coming
yes.
out. Yeah.
He's dropping all the
So,
secrets.
yeah.
Okay, maybe I wasn't supposed to say that.
No,
You know,
totally,
you know.
totally.
So
Love
we're
it.
I will have you guys
Yes.
on.
Oh
for
my
sure.
God,
Yeah, no
Love
way,
it.
Artie.
Yes.
We're on there.
Loves
Okay,
it,
y'all
loves
heard
it.
it.
Oh my
Let's
God.
not forget.
He's trying to hold you to
I'm not gonna forget.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank
to be
you.
here.
Thank you.
And
Saint.
honestly, you are a good friend of ours, and whatever we can do to get you to the next level, same thing for us on our side. We would love to share that experience. with
Yes.
you.
And where can we find you? You let us know.
Yes. Find me on Instagram at Sir Chris Saint. And
Love it.
yes.
And are you going to be starting a TikTok?
I have a TikTok
Okay.
also at Sir Chris Saint.
Okay,
so
loves
yes.
it, loves it. Okay,
actually,
let's go.
before we finalize this,
Yeah.
Chris Saint.
Saint. Yeah.
Saint. So Saint. I mean,
Yeah, so my artist name, Sir Christopher Saint, and
Yes.
it's
Sir Christopher
I've
Saint.
gone
That's
through
so
multiple
amazing.
rebrands as a music artist, but
Okay.
I've really landed at this one.
Yes.
And it really kind of unionizes like me being this like spiritual pop star, but like also like Sir Elton John. Like,
Okay.
you know, like
I
love
the
that.
royal aspect of
Yes,
it.
it is
helps
royal.
me like, you know, I'm such a fan of like drag queens, but
Uh-huh.
my form of drag
Yes.
is being a pop star.
Yes,
Okay.
And
yes,
so
yes.
like it helps me kind of come to that like more heightened version of myself.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I'm Sir Christopher Saint.
Oh my
but,
God,
like,
I love it.
oh, I'm Chris Jacob. Like, you know, all
Yes,
the people
yes.
that know me, you know?
Mhm, mhm. I
Wonderful.
love it.
Well, thank you so much for everything.
Yes.
We love you guys. You guys ever want to share any information to us? You guys can DM us. You guys can
Yes.
also DM him.
And any like cute guys in the just kidding.
Right. You know who to DM.
We talked about this.
The roster's
If
open.
you
The
were
roster's
inspired.
open. So hit us up. Oh, I mean, hit him up.
Wow. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Watch
loves
the
it.
podcast
Yeah.
gets released on Sunday at 7 p.m. No, actually at 5 p.m. We started moving it.
There
So
you go.
Sunday at 5 p.m. and we'll have a couple reels out.
Oh my God, I'm so
Yay.
excited.
Love you so
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Love
guys.
you.
Bye.
Okay.
Yay.
We're good. Yay.
Okay.